pass 7057 in the interest of the Dawsey children.
Elizabeth Rodriguez.
You're the caseworker for the department, is that correct?
That's correct.
And today the department is asking for the court to disrupt the monitor return of the children to the parents, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Where are the children currently residing at?
They're currently residing at the residence of Haley Bonds and Corey Gates.
And so I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That was it, sorry.
Oh, okay. And so the parents have, they relocated from their prior residence to live with the Bonds in Valley Mills, is that correct?
That is correct.
And according to your report, since all of this happened, the parents have pretty much put it on them to raise the children and to clean and to take care of them and everything else. Is that accurate?
Correct.
And all of this stuff is detailed in your court report. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Judge, I'd like to offer the department's permanency report as petitioners 1.
Any objection? Sorry, petitioners number 1 is admitted.
So tell me about the home and the children's living and sleeping arrangements.
So the home is of 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. 1 bath does not have a working shower. So all the residents in the home, all the household members share 1 bathroom with a working shower. The children are in the bigger bedroom that consists of smaller rooms, sized of a little over a walk-in closet size. In 1 bedroom, there's a bunk bed. There's bunk beds for the 2 girls in the home, Freya and Phoenix. And in another smaller room is Thor's small bed where he sleeps. And in that same room, Mr. and Mrs. Dawsey also sleep in, and they share a what appears to be a king-sized bed.
And how often do you go to the home to visit?
Weekly base.
And are these all announced or unannounced visits?
They have been unannounced.
And what happens whenever you show up unannounced?
Well, after the status hearing, we were made aware to just be precautious regarding the dogs in the property and in the home. Therefore, every time I have arrived, the department does have to wait a couple minutes before the dogs are put away, and we're allowed to come in. There have been some visitations where we have not been allowed in because Miss Haley is not home, and according to Mr. Dawsey, we're not. His concern is that the dogs may attack because of that.
So do they not have an enclosure that they can put these dogs in?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
They don't have an enclosure that they can put these dogs in?
They do not.
And what kind of dogs are we talking about?
These are small breeds. We have, I believe there's
Small
3
breeds or just kind of regular old dogs?
They have not been aggressive any of the times that I've made contact with them.
Okay,
So I would not say
he's denying y'all entry to the residence to view the home because they're worried about the dogs that are not dangerous.
Correct.
Okay. Why do you, I mean, really, why do you think he's not letting you in the home?
During some of these visits, when we have arrived, some of the additional excuses have been that the children are napping, and so we still let parents know that despite of them sleeping, we still need to physically see them, and that would require us entering the home. So we do receive some pushback, but eventually we are able to. However, some of the observations that have been made are because of the dogs and the children sleeping, Mr. Dawsey walks back inside for a couple minutes before he allows the department to come in.
In the times that you have been allowed entry into the residence, what have you observed inside the residence?
Some of the observations have been Freya's bed urinated. There have been an incident where a vape was found under Freya's bed with vape juice. Additionally, there was an incident where an observation of Mr. Dawsey's knife was also seen at Children's Reach when he left it with next to his jeans on the floor. The children's beds are always undone. There's been clothes all over the room. Nothing really seems organized. And we haven't made also observations of the wall plugs being off the wall, exposing wiring as well. So those are some of the observations that have been made.
And another concerning thing that was noted in your report, and I believe Ms. Mystic provided a picture of it, is the state of the kitchen a lot of times. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
And so what have you observed in the kitchen?
In the kitchen, at the beginning, we had noticed some chemicals on the bottom under the sink that is not covered. There's no walls or anything, or doors, sorry. So we did ask parents to put those up and away. So that was addressed. However, every visit, we have consistently seen piles of dirty dishes in the sink.
And these folks, they're aware that you're coming every week, right?
Correct.
And they're still allowing their home to get this way, knowing that they're under the microscope, right?
Correct.
And so if the department were to leave the children in this home or just in the possession of the parents, whether they get kicked out or whatever, and we're not monitoring, do you have concerns that the home is just going to get worse and worse and worse?
I do.
Okay. Briefly go through the services for each of the parents. What services have they completed and what do they still need to work on?
The parents have not participated in all services. The only service they participated were individual therapy. Mrs. Dawsey only completed one session back in October, and Mr. Dawsey has completed a session back in October 28th and another one on September 5th.
Okay, so but at this point in the case, does the department typically like to see more progress in this?
Correct. Some of the recommendations in those notes that I received were weekly, was a recommendation for weekly sessions. However, they have not been able to complete those or participate.
Okay. So if the department disrupts the monitor return today, where is the department looking to place the children?
We have identified their previous foster parents as being a great fit for the children, and they would have availability.
The foster parents and the parents get along?
They did not have communication.
Okay. All right, I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes. And Judge, I just wanted to bring up, we all agreed in the little text chat box to save time that we all agree to allow all the evidence that's been emailed in on this case in, so we don't have to spend a lot of time on each side proving up all those pictures and things.
you had pictures and Miss Mystic had pictures, correct?
Yes, and I had 2 letters.
I saw one from ECI. What was the other one?
It was from the good old Witcher Healthcare, but it was the last one I sent. My client just got it like this morning.
Okay, I haven't looked at my email yet. Okay, you represent mom or dad? I don't have my phone.
Mom.
Okay, so mom's exhibits 1, 2, and 3, correct? We'll make the pictures all in one. Is that okay?
That is fine. Yes.
Pictures, so ECI will be 1, and the mom's letter will be 2. Pictures will be number 3, all put together. Miss Mystic, you have pictures too, correct?
I do, Judge.
And anybody, and we'll call those attorney ad litem exhibit number 1. Anything else other than pictures, Miss Mystic?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Gustafson, anything you're just tag teaming on with Miss Bennett's pictures?
Yes, ma'am. And we agree.
Okay, so respondent mom's exhibits 1, 2, and 3, and attorney ad litem's exhibits number 1 will all be admitted. Okay, thank you, Miss Bennett. Go on.
Okay. Sorry. I just thought that would
Yeah, thanks.
quicken up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, have 2 hours, so that's good. Yeah, thanks.
Ms. Rodriguez, are you familiar with Erica? Is it IAM? I don't know how you say that. EM?
It's Lamb, ma'am.
Lamb? Okay, sorry. The maternal grandmother?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And is there some reason that you wouldn't place the kids with her instead of putting them in a foster home?
In the first removal, when we had reunified the children with the monitored return, we had conversations with her where she stated that due to her health conditions, she would be last resort.
Okay. But she didn't say she wouldn't take them. She just said she was last resort. Like,
Correct.
and did she ever have placement of the kids?
She during the first removal, parents were residing at Mrs. Lamb's residence, so she was part of that.
Okay.
Say that again. There's too much background noise. I didn't hear what she was saying. What was the answer to the question? And somebody's got background noise.
She said that the children were in the home with her and the parents at the time of, I guess she said like the first removal or something like that.
Okay, thank you.
And the dogs that you're talking about, those are not the Dawsey's dogs, right? They belong to the other household members.
Correct.
And all of your visits to my clients have been unannounced. Is that right?
That is correct.
And the house that they live in is not their house, right?
It is not.
Okay. And um, Corey and Haley are the ones, it's their house.
That is correct.
And they were nice enough to let Jennifer and the family live there.
Correct.
And all of these different issues that y'all have with the house, are these issues that anybody has talked to Corey and Haley about fixing?
That is correct.
So you have talked to Corey and Haley about fixing the different issues?
Yes, all the concerns have been addressed with Mr. and Mrs. Lane and Corey as well as Miss Haley. They
Okay.
have all been made aware. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And if Corey and Haley chose not to finish out their shower or didn't have the money to finish out their shower, is that an issue? It sounds like that you're holding against Lane and Jennifer.
Um, the shower. I'm sorry, can you repeat your question? I'm not understanding.
So one of the issues in the reports was y'all don't like the shower because there's something like it's open or something on one side and y'all don't like people coming in there. That was in a report. Um, I'm just asking how you expect someone who's just staying at somebody's house, you know, and out of the goodness of their heart, how they're supposed to go in demanding that they fix all of these issues.
Well, the concern is more so with the shower that is shared with all the household members. That is in the master bedroom, in the bigger bedroom where the children are located and mostly spend their time in. That does not have a door and it's not covered, and it does have a lot of hygiene supplies around um, that pose a risk for the children.
And isn't there another bathroom in the house?
There is on the other side of the home.
And does it have a shower or bath or something?
It has a shower, however, it's not it's been reported that it's not working. So they only use it for other reasons.
Okay. And there were also like there's one room that y'all said you don't think it has enough light in it, and another room that has like a partial light fixture, but not, like a normal light fixture fixed up. I mean, again, are these things that somebody who's just like staying at a home should address or try to have the owners of the home fix and put pressure on them?
When we discussed the issues, it was more so because the of the exposed wires. Um, Ms. Haley and Mr. Corey did report that they were working on home improvements, and that was part of that was in their list. However, we addressed the fact that we were seeing those wires being exposed to the children up on the ceiling and on the side of the walls. One of the smaller rooms, which is Thorsten's bedroom, it does have a small light that gives very little, almost to nothing lighting in the room. So our concern is, you know, of Thor being, so little and being placed in a room very dark.
And is that the room that now has like the string of lights at the top, or is that a different room?
Correct. Yes, ma'am. After addressing multiple times, they made that adjustment.
Okay, so they did add lights after you ask.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, and were all of these issues there when the Dawseys moved into this home?
They were not. For Thorsten's bedroom, his bed was placed next to their bed. So Thor had access to the bigger bedroom.
Okay, and now they've moved him into the small room, so he has his own room.
Correct.
Okay. So other than him sleeping in that room instead of the bedroom with the Dawseys, the shower issue, the light fixture issue, were all of these issues there when they originally moved in?
They were not.
So the shower got broken after they moved in?
So the shower in the bathroom across the room that was reported from the beginning. The concern is with the bathroom inside the bigger bedroom where the children spend most of their time. Um, it had a baby gate at the beginning to cover that entrance, and then a shower curtain that was being used as a cover for the door. Um, but as of now, that baby gate is no longer there, and it's only being covered with a shower curtain.
Okay, so the shower curtain's still there, but the baby gate is gone?
Correct.
Okay, so you need the baby gate put back up. Have you
Correct.
have you asked them to put the baby gate back up?
It's been noticed. Sometimes it's on and then off, on and off. So, but it has been consistently addressed. Um, for for the safety of the children to have that consistently and always on.
So sometimes when you come out, it's up and sometimes it's not.
Correct.
And then you said none of the other issues that y'all are upset about now existed. So was uh the issue with just the light not being all the way up and stuff, was that there, or has that changed since they moved in?
It was noticeable after after the family relocated that slowly we started noticing these changes in the home. They were addressed, and I know Mr. Corey and Haley made efforts to try to upkeep those. However, due to the concerns being also found in the bedroom where Mr. and Mrs. Dawsey has been, well, essentially is assigned to them. Those were not being kept, or those changes were not being made.
Okay, so you're saying, I just want to make sure I'm clear. You're saying there was a light fixture in that one bedroom that y'all took a picture of and said you don't like, and it was all connected and working properly when they moved in, and now suddenly there's no light fixture and it's hanging down? Is that what you're saying? It changed?
I I do not recall that light working. However, what we were mainly noticing was it just being off, exposing the wires from the ceiling, and then the one from the side of the walls, the power outlets.
Right. Have you seen the picture that I sent that shows the power outlet fixed? And it has like I think, pink tape and stuff around it, that it's all closed and taped up.
I have not seen it yet.
Okay. So are you saying maybe you didn't notice if the light fixture was fixed and appropriate when they first moved in, but now you've noticed that it's not and you want it fixed?
I have not seen that photo. However, a couple weeks ago, when the department and CASA were out there, CASA provided assistance in fixing that power outlet. So the pink tape was used also to have that be put back into the wall and not expose those wires.
Okay. I guess my question is just, what specifically has changed in the status of the house other than, what you said, the baby gate is there sometimes and not sometimes, from when you approved the house for them to move in and then now? Are these things that have broken since they've moved in and they're now issues? Or are they things that have been there the whole time that they initially had said they would work on fixing those things and they're just still not fixed? Or everything was fine and now suddenly a whole bunch of these things are broken and you don't like that? I'm just trying to clarify that. If maybe that'll make it faster than me trying to ask individual, you know.
In the beginning, when they first relocated into the home, prior to them relocating to the home, I had done a walkthrough, provided them a list of the identified risks, and those were addressed prior to the family moving into the home. Shortly after they relocated, I completed another walkthrough, where I was also verifying that those changes have been made. At that time, the department did not have concerns. However, moving forward into those monitored returns, the department began noticing those small changes and concerns.
And again, my question is, the things that you began noticing, were they already there before the Dawseys moved in? Or did things get broken and not fixed? You understand what I'm asking?
Things got broken and not fixed.
Okay, so somehow the light fixture got broken and pulled out of the ceiling and not fixed.
The wall plugs on the wall, like the side walls, those were out of the wall. The ceiling one, that was out in the beginning. However, not a high concern at that time because there were no bunk beds. But when the family got bunk beds for the children, then it became a high risk because the children had access to it.
Okay, so the light fixture has been the same consistently the whole time.
That is
It's
correct.
just now there's a top bunk. And in the top bunk, it is not a Dawsey child that sleeps in the top bunk, right? It's the other child.
Correct.
Okay. And who returned the kids from the foster parents to the parents? Do you know?
Who in the department transported them?
Yes.
That was myself. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you notice that both of the kids were returned in diapers?
Yes.
Okay. And have the Dawseys told you the kids' nap schedule?
They have um they have mentioned their daily routine where naps are included.
Okay. And y'all have come out multiple times, like during the time they told you was nap time, right?
There have been other times that the department has completed those visits where the children are also in nap time. So it has been even in the mornings or afternoons, children are napping consistently and frequently.
Okay. And do these kids play outside a lot?
It is reported that they do.
Okay. So it's not reported that they like sit in front of the TV all day long and they're not allowed to go outside or play or anything like that.
That has not been reported.
Okay. Sorry, my phone is really slow. Okay. And have you noticed that the bunk beds in the girls' room have been moved so the light is not in reach of the bunk beds?
They have been moved. Yes.
Okay. And have you spoken to the maternal grandmother anytime recently?
I have not.
Um, are you aware that her health issues are better and she's in a different house now?
I am aware she's in a different house. However, I'm not aware of her health status.
But have you just pre-decided that the kids are going to go to a foster home?
In consideration of her last comment regarding care for the children, yes.
But she never told you she wouldn't take the children, just to call her if it's a last resort. So have you called her?
I have not.
Okay. And never mind. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Gustafson.
Yes. Ms. Rodriguez, these concerns that you have about the home, your concerns are that the children are not safe in this home anymore? Is that is that your is that what you're alleging at this time?
The concerns with the home are during every visitation, we have visited, what are the risks in the home, and Miss Haley and Mr. Corey have made efforts to try to address those concerns to ensure that it's not placing the children at risk.
So these things that are broken, have they, in trying to address these concerns, they haven't fixed the things that were broken, correct?
Correct.
And yet the department is holding the Dawseys responsible for these items, and it seems to be saying that they're keeping their children in this dangerous environment. And isn't that y'all's position?
The department has made consistent efforts to reiterate and remind the parents of the risks and how to ensure that the children are safe in the home.
And so how do you know that they're not keeping the kids safe when they're there?
Because the department has made observations such as unattended vapes, knives, accessible to the children despite of one parent being fully present at all times of the day.
So basically, well, on one of your visits, because you saw an unattended vape and then that there was a knife left out on the floor, then that indicates to you that they're not making sure that the children are safe at all times.
It was in multiple occasions, and that is an indicator.
So multiple times you went out there and there was a vape just left sitting there and knives sitting there. Is that what you're saying?
Left unattended, yes, ma'am.
So was this like a pocket knife that was left in a pair of jeans?
It's a fairly big knife that Mr. Lane
I'm
places
going to
on
object
the
to
side
you
of his
being
pocket.
non-responsive, Ms. Rodriguez. Was it a pocket knife?
Inside the pocket, no.
Okay. But was it a foldable pocket knife?
No.
Now, what is the age of the other child that lives there?
I believe 4 years old.
And is the department, did you call in an investigation for this child because of the dangerous situation that's in that home?
I did not.
And you are a mandatory reporter, are you not?
Yes, I am.
And you are testifying to this court that these children need to be removed from their parents because they're keeping them in a dangerous situation. Is that not your testimony?
This is being exposed in the with the Dawsey children more than the other children. The other child spends most of the time with parents or at school. The Dawsey children are not attending school. They spend all day at home.
So it's not a dangerous environment for the 4-year-old.
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
In your opinion, it's not a dangerous environment for the 4-year-old.
It's the dangerous behaviors of the parents of Mr. and Mrs. Dawsey.
If Mr. and Mrs. Dawsey had some parenting classes or perhaps a parenting manager that came in, do you think that this would be helpful to them as a service?
They have declined that assistance.
Is that something you discussed with them in the beginning and determining their family service plan?
I did.
And when you saw that perhaps some of the things that you were pointing out to them, did you ask them about it again?
I continuously reminded them of their individual parent therapy that included protective parenting as well. Additionally, the department offered parenting classes and anything else regarding parenting skills that was also declined by the parents.
So you also said that you did not ask the grandmother if she would be willing to take possible placement because of the comments she made in a previous removal. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So is it the department's policy to only ask once, no matter how long ago it was, and not ask again?
It is not.
Okay, so you asked the parents at the beginning if they would be willing to do parenting classes, but you did not ask again when they seemed to be having trouble. Are you willing to work with them, and ask again if they'd be willing to work with perhaps not just parenting classes, but a parenting consultant or somebody that would come out to the home to actually work with them with working with the children?
I asked in the beginning, and I consistently asked throughout monitored visits, and that was declined by the parents.
So now it's your testimony that at your visits that you asked more than one visit, would they be willing to work with somebody on their parenting? That's your testimony today.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So you just testified, if I heard you correctly, that you asked them in the beginning, and then you asked them multiple times later if they would be willing to work with someone on their parenting. I just want to be sure I heard you correctly.
I consistently asked them if they'd be willing to participate in parenting, or if they are in need of any other parenting resources, and they declined. As of today, I'm not sure where the parents would stand with that decision.
And on the grandmother, are you willing to contact her to see if her health is improved or if she would be willing to be a placement?
I would definitely make efforts.
Now, the bunk beds that are there, that bunk bed is slept in by the 4-year-old, which is not the Dawsey's child, correct?
She sleeps on the top bunk, correct?
And you expressed that the concern about that light fixture was now there's bunk beds in that room, and the light fixture was reachable by the children, correct?
Correct.
But you're not concerned about that danger to the 4-year-old, correct?
The Haley and Mr. Corey have made efforts to move those bunk beds so that that's not reachable to their child.
But Mr. Corey, that's actually his daughter sleeping on the top bunk bed, correct?
Correct.
So it would be really not, strike that. So bringing it up and criticizing the Dawseys about that danger, it's not their child that's in danger. So that would be incorrect to be criticizing them about that, correct?
It places a risk for the Dawsey children. Ms. Haley and Mr. Corey are consistently, they're actively ensuring their child's safety and making sure that their child is safe.
So whenever y'all looked at the house to begin with and placed those children there, did you consider the possibility that the couple they were moving in with would be people that would be there to be supportive and also be other caregivers to the child or the children? Did y'all consider that?
The Ms. Haley and Mr. Corey did, they considered that.
And when y'all approve a placement or when you approve children being put on a monitored return, it's very important who lives in the home with the parents, isn't it?
Correct.
And they have to pass background checks, and they have to not have any CPS history because they're going to be around the children as well. Is that not right?
Correct.
And many times when there are other persons that live in the home, the department is typically happy because those people are support for the parents. Is that also not correct?
Correct.
So at what point did it become a problem for the persons they're living with about them not being a support to the parents?
The concern has not been regarding the parents receiving that support. The concern is that parents have not demonstrated positive behavioral changes since their relocation into that home.
And has the entire information that you've received on that come from the people they're living with?
Correct.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Gustafson. Ms. Mystic?
Ms. Rodriguez, first off, I want to go through a timeline on this case. When was, and I know you weren't the initial, but y'all get involved pretty quick. When was the first intake? Do you recall month that led to removal?
I do not recall.
Would it
Sorry,
have-
I do not recall.
Well, let me just ask this. You submitted some photos. We're not going through the photos. They've already been admitted, but you had submitted a photo of pictures of the children from 7/30, July 30th to August 16th. So would it be safe to say July of 25 is when CPS got involved investigating?
Around that time, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it appears from the pictures you sent, and you submitted those pictures to show how the children looked during July 30th to August 16th in foster care, correct? Like the hygiene looking.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What was the initial reason that the department got involved and subsequently removed the children? If you need to pull up your affidavit, everybody has it, I'm sure, and it's been admitted in previous cases. That's fine. Judge, if we give her a minute to get that pulled up, that'd be great. And lawyers, I just submitted another picture. Sorry, Clay. So that one hasn't been admitted, but if y'all could look at it while she's pulling that, or you may have already.
Dory, did you email that picture?
I did. Did y'all get it? It's just one of Mr. Dawsey on the front porch with the child shows the knife. I thought that might be helpful since we were having a confused conversation about pocket knife.
I didn't.
If it's helpful, Your Honor, I do have the knife here by
hold on.
my side.
Okay, hold on, sir. Don't say anything till your lawyer wants you to, but thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Rodriguez, I just emailed you the affidavit. If you could just pull that up, I just now. And did y'all not get that picture?
I got
I
it.
did. CASA received it.
You got it.
Okay. Judge, did you get it?
When did you send it?
Like 10 minutes ago.
No, I didn't get it yet.
All right, hold on.
No.
Okay, let me find. Find it, Ms. Rodriguez? I just emailed it to you.
Yes, ma'am, I have it.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me get
Thank
this
you.
to the judge. Okay, so can you confirm the date of when the children were removed?
7/29.
Okay,
What?
and
Wait, I didn't, something, what'd she say?
7/29 of 25, July 29th, correct?
Okay,
Correct.
okay.
Okay, and what was the reason for the removal, just briefly?
Physical neglect for Freya and Thorsten from both parents. They observed the home in unsanitary conditions. The home was described with having a bad odor throughout, and a portion of the ceiling was caving in from the kitchen area. And there was black mold in the home, in the dishwasher. Roaches were seen throughout the home, and the children were sleeping on pallets.
Okay, so, and we had our initial hearing and talked, and everybody agreed, and they had said in the affidavit that they were gonna move, like they were looking to get an RV, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And subsequently moved into the home with Corey and Haley, is that right?
That is correct.
And the department, as we've just discussed, observed and looked at the place that they moved into.
That is correct.
Is there also things in the affidavit about the condition of the children as far as how they appeared?
There is.
Okay. Was it generally just hygiene issues, nails, just being not clean?
Correct. There had been observations of the children noticed as they had not been bathed in days with bad odor, and their finger and toenails had dirt underneath.
Okay. And how old is Freya
She's 4 now,
and Thorsten?
2 years old.
Okay. And so when we had the hearing and the judge said, or we all agreed, hey, let's take a look at the new place they're going. Y'all checked it out and they moved in there. And since that time, you and CASA have been consistent weekly going to the home. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. What services are not being or offered? Excuse, that's a bad question. What services were ordered for the parents to do?
To participate in their individual therapy that consisted of protective parenting, as well as psychological evaluations to ensure that they were receiving the proper support.
Okay. And how far have they done their psych evals?
They have not.
Okay. Do you know if they've like, hey, I've made an appointment, because sometimes it takes some time. And this is when my appointment is.
After our status hearing and when I was reviewing these services with them, they gave a lot of pushback regarding the psychological, in reiterating regarding the individual therapy. It was very minimal efforts.
Okay. And protective pairing was to be incorporated into their individual therapy.
That is correct.
Okay. And I think you had testified that Jennifer has done one session.
That is correct.
What about Lane?
He completed one on October 28th and follow up on November 5th, just recently.
Okay. Have they been discharged and successfully completed therapy?
They have not.
Okay. So they're supposed to be continuing going to therapy.
Yes.
Okay. There's an issue that I know CASA has addressed and you have addressed. Does Lane or Jennifer have a valid driver's license?
They do not.
Okay. Have you physically seen Lane drive with the children or Jennifer in a vehicle?
I have seen Mr. Dawsey drive in the property with the children in the vehicle.
Okay. And then CASA can address when we get to CASA about what they've observed. Additionally, you provided, as well as CASA, again, we're not going to go through each one, they've been admitted, probably 30 plus photos of visits. As far as the hygiene and the cleanliness of the children, could you briefly tell the judge what you've observed as far as, I'm assuming from August till November, you've made weekly visits?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, go ahead,
What?
ma'am.
Okay. Could you briefly describe what you've noticed as far as cleanliness, bruises, scratches, things like that?
Yes, in every visit, the department has noticed the children have what appears to be like dry dirt around their face. They have dirt under their fingernails. They some notices have also been made with Freya still sometimes on and off diaper, despite of the parents stating that they have been working with potty training her. And the department has also seen Freya with urinated clothing on during those visits. The department continues to notice bruises, scratches, what appears to be bug bites around the children's bodies. They have scratches. Their hair is unkept. They have been also been noticed with mucus around their nose, dry mucus as well, where sometimes the hair is also stuck around their nose or their face. And the department has also made observations of the children wearing same clothing that appears to be dirty and unwashed.
And completely understanding that they're staying in a home that is being provided by Cody, and Haley, but as far as the condition of the home and the children, sometimes folks both working, it's hard, 2 little kids. Jennifer works, is that right?
That is correct.
Who's home all day at the house with the children?
Mr. Dawsey.
Have you ever gone where the house is, and I'm not talking about like a light fixture and wires and things, but has that house ever been clean?
I have not, the department has not made observations of those rooms being organized.
Okay, and when you say rooms, understanding they are living in a home that is not theirs, but they have one half of the home, basically there's the master, the little bedroom, and then the bunk beds, and I understand the older child stays on the bunk bed, right? Top bed.
Correct.
Have you ever seen the children crawl up those bunk beds to get up on the top?
I have not made those observations.
Okay. There is no doubt these parents love these children.
Correct.
Right. Y'all, the department, CASA is asking to disrupt this monitored return, not because the house is dirty, not because the children are dirty, not because the parents aren't progressing, but for all of those reasons, not one specifically. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is it your testimony today, if the court removes and has us do a home study on grandma, which would be great if her situation is better because family's better, but to continue working with these parents to get them actively involved?
That is correct.
Have you asked Mr. Dawsey why he's not working?
I have, yes.
And what's his response been?
His responses have been that it's due to the CPS case being involved, that he wants to provide care for the children 24/7. He's also commented on him not working because of health conditions or restrictions.
Do you mean restrict, like with his license, not having an ID? Sometimes folks can't get work if they don't have an ID. Is that one of the reasons?
He has not used that as one of the reasons, but more so focused on CPS being involved in the case.
Okay. If they are disrupted and removed, then it might provide more time for Mr. Dawsey to be able to do services and Jennifer,
Correct.
and continue to work with them.
That is correct.
Okay, tell me the services that we want the parents to have been, and I understand they have the ECI evaluation, but what's supposed to be happening with these kiddos on a weekly basis?
Freya was assessed for speech therapy and recommended to attend twice a week in person.
How's that
Thor,
going? Stop it there. Is she going twice a week?
she just began her first session last week.
Is this because we didn't help make an appointment, or should that have been done back in August?
Um, that should have been done after status hearing. However, parents were being it was challenging for the service providers to reach parents and set those appointments up to move forward into services.
What do you mean challenging? Couldn't get them on the phone?
Correct.
Do the Dawseys have a phone, a cell phone?
During the month of September, they were disconnected for about a week. However, Miss Haley provided a lot of support in her phone number being provided, or them using her cell phone to contact anything that was pertaining to the children.
So Freya, and status was in September, is that correct?
September 17, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so since September 17th, she's had one session or two?
Correct.
Okay,
One.
all right. And she's supposed to be going twice a week.
Correct. Her assessment was completed last month, and that recommendation was made.
Okay, so they had no phone for a week. The recommendation or the evaluation was in October. So we're not going back to September necessarily. We're going back to October. She's done one session.
Yes, just last week. Correct.
Okay. What else is Freya supposed to be participating in?
As after our status hearing, that was primarily court ordered, but also getting her prepared for early school, or transitioning into school, as she will be entering school this upcoming year. So potty training was definitely one as well.
And that's been a struggle.
Correct.
Okay. What about with Thorsten? Anything that he was supposed to have done or recommended for ECI?
After his ECI assessment, it was recommended for him to begin occupational therapy. Service providers also experienced a challenge with getting hold of parents and scheduling that. He completed his first session last week as well, or yes, last week.
And what's the occupational therapy for?
For his walking.
Okay, okay. If the court disrupts and removes the children, is the department absolutely okay with parents attending sessions, making sure they can see what's recommended, those type things for their children?
Yes.
And that's what you're asking the court today, based on everything that's been testified to by you, to disrupt the monitored return, put him in foster and do a home study on grandma and any other family they may.
Correct.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Thank you. Mr. Sturmer, anything else?
I don't have any other questions of this witness.
Ms. Gustafson or Ms. Bennett?
I have just a couple follow-ups based on
Okay.
some of the stuff they've said, not a lot. Okay. You talked about the pictures of the kids with the foster parents. How many unannounced visits did you make to the foster parents?
0.
Okay, so they always knew the day and time you were coming.
I was only able to complete one visit with foster parents.
Okay. And some of those pictures, y'all weren't even there. They were like on vacation or something, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Natalie, I don't understand. Who was on vacation?
So they submitted into evidence some pictures of the kids looking all cute on vacation with the foster parents, like that somehow compares to them, having dirt under their fingernails playing outside with the
Okay.
parents. So I just wanted to point out.
I didn't know if you're talking about fosters or the
Yeah.
house other people. Okay.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to point out the difference. Like that was just, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay. And then, so is it your understanding that the department is supposed to make reasonable efforts to prevent removal of the kids from the parents' home?
Correct.
And do you feel like you've done that?
Correct.
Okay. And have you tried to or looked into setting up a parenting coordinator who would actually come out to the house and help them like actively parent with the children?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
In some cases, we have a person like a parenting coordinator go to the parent's house with the children and they help them parent the children and learn how to be better parents. Have you looked into or done that?
Parents have declined any additional resources regarding parenting.
And did you specifically ask them about a parenting coordinator?
I did not.
And when was it that they supposedly declined any parenting resources? In the very beginning or recently?
Throughout the service in various visits, during various visits.
Okay, so you have asked Jennifer, my client, multiple times, and she has said no. Is that what you're testifying to?
Um, More so with Mr. Dawsey.
And how many visits have you gone to at the house that Jennifer was even there?
When we were completing these visits, she was just leaving to go to work or was at work.
Okay. And have you looked into or asked about protective daycare?
I have.
Okay. And you decided that that was not an option?
The family declined any daycare services, stating that it was because Mr. Dawsey would be staying with the children.
Yes, but did you talk to them and say, we're going to remove the kids or we can try protective daycare? And they said, no, remove the kids.
No.
Did you at any point in time until all these reports were filed tell the Dawseys that you were considering removing the kids based on all these little issues?
During each visitation, I did let them know the department concerns regarding some of the observations, and continuously reminded the family regarding the concerns that the department was having.
And did you tell my client Jennifer those concerns?
She was not in some of those conversations. She was not physically present, but she was on the phone with Mr. Dawsey.
Because Jennifer's at work most of the times that you come for your visits, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And just to clarify, if you said, I'm concerned about the kids' nails being dirty, that's totally different from saying, all of these things that we're telling you, I think that we're going to have to remove the kids if these issues aren't fixed. When I come out, they better be fixed. I mean, how did you address these with them?
In identifying those concerns, I did bring those up to the parents, to Mr. Dawsey, and letting them know that because it had been a consistent observation, the department was highly concerned and was looking into seeing the children in better conditions during the next visit. And some of those recommendations were made regarding their nails and hygiene.
So it almost sounds like you were really nice in the way that you put things to the parents. Do you really think that they understood that you were stating if you don't clean their nails, if you don't make sure they're perfectly clean, if you don't make sure that the sheets are already washed and back on their beds before we get there every morning, if you don't, because all of those things individually really are, I feel, fairly minor. Did you tell them if you don't do all these things, we're going to take your kids away from you? I want to make sure you understand this and how serious it is because, again, individually, these are all very minor things.
In the department making continuous observations of the same behavior and concerns regarding the children's during each visitation. It was the department always took the time to explain to the parents the reason behind the importance and what we were looking forward to and seeing that better change for the children. However, the
So
department did not
you-
make those observations.
So you specifically use the words, we're going to remove your children in those conversations. We are going to take your children.
No.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Ms. Gustafson. Excuse me, Ms. Gustafson.
The last time that you made a visit to the Dawsey home, at that point in time, did you relay to them how serious the situation had gotten?
I did inform the consistent observations from the department and how concerning that was to the department.
And when you said that you continued to ask them about whether or not they or offer them help with parenting, were you asking them if they wanted to take parenting classes?
It was suggested to them to have additional support in parenting skills because the protective parenting was already included in their individual therapy, and they declined.
So I guess what I'm saying is, were you saying, I really think it would be a good idea maybe for y'all to take some parenting classes. We feel that that would be good for you. Or did you say something along the lines of, look, y'all aren't making progress. And if you don't, these kids can get removed. Was it more like the first way or the last way?
It was what the department was explaining to the parents was the benefits of having that the parenting skill support and offering those services. However, that was declined, and the department continuously informed the parents regarding the concerns that were noticeable each week.
And so when you say the department, does that mean you or was someone else going out there?
That was myself for the most part.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Gustafson. Ms. Mystic.
Just one question. I know you were going out, but wasn't CASA going out as well?
That is correct.
And as much as you were going, or do you know?
Yes, ma'am, as much as I was going.
Okay, so both of you were saying, I mean, he'll be able to testify, but he was consistently there, Mr. Scorio, correct?
Correct.
Okay, did y'all go a lot, meet up together?
Correct. Sometimes he would get there before I did, a couple minutes before I did, or vice versa. But for the most part, we were arriving to the home together as well.
Okay, thank you.
Is that it, Ms. Mystic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else? Mr. Sturmer?
Judge, being that we've already used up an hour and 20 minutes of time, I think right now we would just like to hear from CASA about their concerns. And so if we need to take them at the end and let the parents' attorneys call their clients or whatever we need to do, that's fine. But I think we just need to hear from CASA.
Okay, well, I have a couple of questions. You know me, I always have questions. I'll be quick. What time is it? Okay, yeah. Ms. Rodriguez, who else is living in the house?
We have two additional male household members.
Male?
Male, yes.
Okay, are they, and, are they are they partners or what?
No, one is Miss Haley's sibling, and the other is a family friend. They have their own separate bedrooms on the other side of the home.
Okay, and it's their house?
No, they are additional household members. So those two members plus Miss Haley and Corey, that makes four additional adults. 6 adults with the Dawseys included.
And 3 kids?
Correct.
So 9 people in a 3-bedroom house
Correct.
with one working bathroom?
Correct.
And does the toilet work in the other bathroom?
It does. Yes.
Sink work?
Yes.
Okay, so just the shower doesn't work. Okay. Why does our family not live in their own? What happened to the RV?
They stated that they had been working on the RV to get it fixed. And that had been their essentially their project since they had relocated with Miss Haley and Corey.
So had they been? I don't understand. Had they been working on it or not?
Mr. Dawsey has reported that he has been consistently working on it. However, it's been over 2 months and nothing has been noticed yet.
And the RV, is it on this property or is it on some other another property where they previously lived?
On this property, Judge.
Okay. Talk about the dogs. Is there a fence for the dogs?
There is not around the property.
Yeah, where they could put the dogs in the yard while you're there?
The property is fenced. However, those dogs are not let outside. Well, at least during my visitations, they have not seen outside the home.
Okay. Are they in a neighborhood, out in the country, or what?
In the country.
Okay. Where does the mother work?
At a McDonald's.
Okay. In Valley Mills?
I believe so, or Clifton. I know they're like really close.
What about the other people in the home? Do they work?
They do.
Okay. All 4 of the other adults work?
Yes.
Okay. Why have the parents said they've only been to 1 or dad 2 parenting sessions or individual therapy?
They have stated that it is in their understanding that it was only court ordered for them to attend 2
sessions?
2 sessions. Correct, Judge.
Okay. Where does this maternal grandma live?
She lives in Elgin, Texas.
Okay. How old is she?
I do not recall her age, Judge.
Okay. And what's her health issue?
She did not specify what her health conditions
Okay.
were.
Have they given any other family for possible placement?
No, Judge.
Okay. Do the people whose house this is, they own it or rent it?
They own.
Okay. And you don't know who else lives with grandma, or do you?
No, Judge.
Does she work?
I do not have that information, Judge.
Okay. These vapes you talk about, what's in the vapes?
The vapes.
I mean, just off the top of your head, do you know?
I do not, Judge.
Whose babes are they?
One of the vapes was the vape that was found under Freya's bed was reported by Mr. Dawsey to be that belonged to Miss Dawsey, to Jennifer Dawsey, and another vape that was left unattended was Mr. Dawsey's.
Okay. And was it Mr. Dawsey's knife?
That is correct.
Okay. Since the beginning of time when the children were placed back in this home, would you say the conditions have improved, decreased, about the same? What would you say?
They have been they have not improved. During some of these visitations, it's consistently seen the same, but looking into photos from when they first arrived to now, it has there have not been any good improvements.
And at what hearing were the children? I don't for this. What hearing were the children returned? At the status or at the adversary?
Adversary.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? No. Okay, Mr. Sturmer, I'm gonna call CASA.
Yes. Sir, I'm not even going to try to say your name. Can you state your full name for me, please?
My name is Scorio.
You're the assigned CASA advocate on this case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you been on the case since the very beginning?
Yes, sir.
And so whenever these folks first got to their current residence, did you have a chance to go out and observe that residence prior to the move actually occurring?
The current residents, no, sir.
I'm sorry.
They had moved, they were relocated, and that's when I first visited. However, I believe when they were removed, there was a hearing. I had visited the previous home at 109 Hollis Avenue. That's when they had made the changes to the roof caving in and multiple of the changes. However, I did not see the house at 191 in Valley Mills, County Road 3355 in Valley Mills prior to their move. No, I have not.
Okay. But since then, since you actually went out to the home, how often do you go out there?
Initially, I have made my, from the last court hearing, I've made about 6 visits.
Okay. And are all these announced or unannounced visits?
Unannounced, sir.
You said unannounced?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And whenever you show up unannounced, how is the family towards you? Are they receptive of you being there? Do they deny you access to the home? What do they do?
So towards the last few visits have been with Miss Elizabeth, the caseworker. Prior to that, it was on my own. What is in multiple of these visits, it's always like access has been a pre-issue, and we've even discussed it in the previous hearing that access was an issue, and they continue to delay entry. At one time, it was Miss Haley Bonds was sleeping, and they needed permission, and we waited in excess of more than an hour. And that would be the exact visit. Give me 1 second, sir. I can get you a date, but I have those written down like in almost in excess of an hour, and it's not immediate.
Okay. And since you first went out to that home compared to now, would you describe it as in better shape than it was, the same, worse?
As I did not see the primary of what the residence was, I have to say it is it has not improved from the time I visited.
But do you think it's any worse than the first time you visited?
I have made some fixes to the house, like electrical, the sockets that you mentioned. So I wouldn't say it is better, sir. I wouldn't be able to truthfully say that.
Okay. Now, I understand that you've kind of voiced some concerns to the family about the home. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir. To Mr. Dawsey.
And whenever you talk to them about your concerns, are they receptive?
They are receptive. They say we are waiting on parts, or Mr. Corey has to fix them. But I have not seen any progress. And especially pointing out to the electrical outlets, This was first observed by me on October 13th, and November 13th is when I fixed it, roughly 30 days. Because
So would you say then that they're kind of receptive to the idea of making the changes? They just are not proactive in actually doing the changes?
Yes, sir, I can attest to that statement, sir.
And so I know that you're not a medical doctor or anything, but do you see signs of mental health issues, or do you have any idea why they're not making the changes after initially being receptive?
I'm not a medical professional, but I cannot attest anything to that fact, sir.
Okay.
I mean, is Mr. Lane capable of doing such? Yes.
And why do you say that?
He's competent. He's very articulate, but the actions have not been seen.
So you're not saying, so you're saying that we're not dealing with somebody with like a learning disability or something like that?
No, sir.
And I hate to be blunt, but I mean, is this just laziness?
I can agree to that, sir.
Okay. As far as your concerns around the home, I know you mentioned the electrical outlet, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse talking about all these things, but is there any other concerns about the home that haven't been discussed in this hearing today?
No, the one point that was not brought about is the electrical panel that sits in the laundry room. That from the initial, I believe, from when I'm reading the case reports from the caseworker, it has been, the wiring has been exposed, and I think for them to move in, it was temporarily blocked, and later on in the progression, that has been removed, the electrical wiring. That's the only thing that I can bring about.
Okay, any other dangers or hazards in the home?
I would say the opaque shower curtain is a concern, significant concern of indecent exposure, sir.
Okay, and I know that just trash and debris is not necessarily a safety concern, without something else associated with it. But in the pictures that I've seen, it just looks like just an absolute mess everywhere throughout the yard, through the house. Is that how the home always looks whenever you go out there?
Yes, sir.
Have you talked to them about just picking up their trash?
Inside the home, yes, sir.
Okay. What are your interactions like with the children whenever you go out there?
They're glad to see me, sir, and they're very happy. They're very hugging. And most of the time, initially when we get there, we're told that they're continuously napping. So sometimes they're just waking up, if that makes sense. And when they're into it, then they're active, sir.
And in the reports that I read, it almost sounded like the napping was a little bit excessive or strange, just kind of the tone of the way that it was written in these reports. What is your opinion on the naps, or can you kind of go in a little more detail about that? Because I was kind of confused on that.
Yes, sir. My independent observations prior to going with the caseworker, it has been consistent that they're napping. It has always been that they stated that they're napping, and that would limit our initial access to the house. And sometimes when we see the kids, they're wide awake. It's very inconsistent from the statement of the parents to the action of the kids, where they're awake, and whereas the parents are saying they're napping, it's not consistent. And in different times, like I have gone mostly towards the evening time, roughly after I work, around 4 or 5, and then when I changed the timings during the day, it has been consistently stated that they were napping too. So it's been multiple times during the day, in different occasions, they've been stated that they were recently napping.
Okay, so it may not be that this nap thing is weird. It may just be that they're not telling the truth to you whenever you show up unannounced, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In some of these pictures also, there's some bruises, cuts, bug bites, things like that. Is that a big issue or a big concern on your end?
Yes, sir. It seems like inconsistent, the consistency in these wounds or bruises, and then the constant observance of dirt under the fingernails is a concern, sir, on multiple visits, sir.
Have you ever asked them how often the children are bathing?
I have not, sir.
Okay. I mean, does it look to you like they're bathing every day or every other day?
I can attest to one instance where I have sent the caseworker the pictures of the kids, and they were wearing the same clothing the day prior. And when Elizabeth Rodriguez stated that they were wearing the same clothes the day prior, and the next day during the day, I've seen them observe the same clothing. It was consistent with her testimony and my picture taking of the picture, sir.
Okay. What, if any, behavior or learning concerns, learning delays do you see in the children that need to be addressed?
Sir, specifically to Freya, she is not lingual. We've had, the dad refutes to the statement that, hey, we are not familiar, but we have made multiple visits to the child, and she does not talk complete sentences. It is very concerned, like, hey, even minimal things as like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm not sure if she says that. She can say that her name is Lane Dawsey, her name is Freya Dawsey, and her mom's name is Lane. Dad's name is Lane Dawsey, and mom's name is Jennifer Dawsey. But other than that, I have personally not heard any complete sentences from Freya.
Okay, and has this concern been discussed with the parents?
Yes, sir.
Are they following up on your recommendations on dealing with any of this?
I am not sure whether they are or they're not, sir.
Okay. Any other concerns that you have that you feel like we need to address?
Yes, sir. On the visit of October 13th, I observed dry feces. This is dry feces, not consistent with immediate feces under the bed, the constant observance of the dirt under the nails. And October 13th, as one of the pictures had, Thor is wearing a dirty green shirt, which it has been stains, looked like it has been previously there. And then on November 6th, specifically when we went in the room, there was a soiled diaper in Thorson's bed, and it smelled significantly, the odor was significantly bad. And on November 4th, Haley was cleaning the ears of Thorson, and it took about 4 or 5 Q-tips to completely clear the brown discharge from the ears. In multiple visits, there's a strong, consistent odor of urine emanating from the bed of both Thorson and Freya, and their beds consistently have not seen sheets or like bedding, but whereas the child Phoenix's bed is completely made and well supplied. However, these two kids are not. And specifically in one visit on November 4th, Mr. Dawsey gave Freya and Thorson multiple cold sausages to eat directly from the fridge. And in all these visits, every time we go there, there's a pile of dishes, which is a concern for 7 adults being in the house. And there was a concern previously, which was addressed, of Thorson's door. It was like an engineered door with a latch that prevented him from removing himself, where somebody would have to actually physically open it. That was removed after multiple statements, like very recently before court. And even in one instance, it was stated that Thorson actually broke through the latch for him to get out of the room. And there's other concerns regarding Mr. Lane Dawsey's driving. I can attest to that at this time or at a later time when these questions are specific, or is it to remain regarding the kids?
No, go ahead. Speak on that if you can.
All right. So in regards to Mr. Dawsey's driving, specifically, yep. Specifically on October 31st, we made a visit to Goodall Wiltshire Hospital because that's where Mr. Dawsey and Mr. Jennifer were there. And Mr. Dawsey, on an instance on October 2nd, had said that his driver's license was revoked. So I was curious. I asked Mr. Dawsey, how did he get there? And he stated that he drove because there was no one in the house, and the visit was primary to diagnose for strep throat. And this issue was previously discussed on 28th October, 3 days prior, before he decided to drive. In my opinion, it did not necessitate an emergency where this could have been coordinated with the other members of the household. And And on November 14th, specifically on November 13th, Mr. Dawsey was asked, does he continue to drive? Does he drive by the caseworker? And he said he does not drive. And Mr. Corey was the one who drives Ms. Jennifer to work. Whereas in a separate conversation, which Mr. Corey might testify to, he stated that he did not drive. So the next day I knew the mom's schedule. So on 14 November, I went to the McDonald's, and as I went to the McDonald's, I saw the Mr. Dawsey in the driver's side of the seat, driver's side of the black SUV, GMC SUV with the distinctive front bumper parked. And I parked. He did not observe me initially. I parked 3 car spaces away from the Mr. Dawsey, and then I observed him come out of the vehicle from the driver's side to the passenger's side, where I heard the voice of the kids crying. And he was wearing a gray shirt, blue jeans, and with a light colored baseball cap. And then he proceeded to go to the driver's side, and and then Miss Jennifer exited the vehicle approximately at 10:45 hours, and she was observed taking 2 puffs of vape. And she proceeded to go into the McDonald's. And then at 10:46 hours, approximately, I saw Mr. Dawsey exit the McDonald's onto public highways and then to his residence, at which point he observed me. I retreated back, knowing that the information that his license was suspended. I did make a mandatory reporting regarding this to CPS. And in my prior experience, if somebody's license is usually suspended or revoked, they cannot register their vehicle or insure the vehicle under their name, which Mr. Dawsey has claimed ownership of, and he states that it's registered, insured.
Do you know why his license was suspended?
I do not, sir.
You haven't asked him that?
I do not have access to that, but I was informed by Mr.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to possible hearsay. He just testified he did not know why. So,
Mr. Saccharin, unless did Mr. Dawsey tell you why his driver's license was suspended?
He initially I don't have the exact date on me. He said because it's a lapse of fines or something to that sort, ma'am, because he had excessive fines in Gatesville. That's what his statement was.
Okay, so he told you that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On October 2nd, that would be the specific date.
Okay, overruled.
Sir, anything else that you need to address with the court?
And regarding the medical diagnosis, while I'm not a doctor, these tests were ordered on 17 September. Any instance where it has been done, like especially towards ECI, the evaluation was done on 05 November. That is roughly 50 days from when the court ordered it. And especially Freya's speech evaluation, it was done on September 30th. And then the first appointment was on October 8th. And like from October to November 19th, right now, that's 6 weeks. That's essentially 12 sessions that they could have completed for their speech therapy. I mean, and even in the report from the speech therapist, it's not because of a hearing loss, not because of a cognitive impairment or structural abnormalities. And in sake of Thorson, it's a lack of gross fine motor skills. And this is testimony from, this is statement from the medical professionals. The significant lack, the delay in time to render these services is a concern.
Understood. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Bennett, you have any questions?
Just a few. When you saw the kids' beds, did you see the plastic mattress protector on Freya's bed?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And does Thor's toddler mattress have like a plastic coating?
I have not observed it. Nope.
Okay. And have you ever gone out to the home on the weekends, or do you usually go during the week?
I usually go during the week, ma'am.
Okay, so you haven't ever seen if the kitchen's clean on the weekends?
Negative, but inconsistent of the number of adults in the house and the pile of dishes consistently, I would when during the weekdays is what I've observed.
Okay. Have you had a chance to look at all the pictures submitted as evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the ones this morning also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So are there improvements in some of those pictures in the house?
The only improvement, the significant improvement that I've seen is the one that I made where I fixed the outlet and then I taped it with Corey providing the tape. And the bunk bed was changed, the top, which would easily access with Phoenix easily would be able to access the top light. That was the location of the bunk bed was the only other significant change.
Okay. There's too many pictures. Give me a
Go ahead,
minute.
ma'am.
Anything else, Miss Bennett?
Sorry, I was just trying to look through. There's so many
Yeah.
everywhere.
Your Honor, may I ask a quick question? Can I just get a cup of water real quick by
Yes.
the time Ms.
Yes,
Bennett? Thank you.
I'll pass the
Back,
witness
ma'am.
charge.
Okay, you
I'm
passed.
sorry, what?
Yes.
He passed you, Miss Gustafson.
Yes, I would just like to ask, have you offered to perhaps help the parents set up these therapy sessions for the children, or maybe help to transport the children to some of these therapy sessions?
Ma'am, at the, what is it, what is it specifically on the October 31st visit, when I observed Mr. Dawsey's statement that he drove to the hospital, I stayed back to make sure that the kids were safe because of his prior statement that his license was revoked. So I stayed back, but he had indeed called Miss Haley and them to transport him. And from then, I did say, hey, you just have to coordinate this, and offered that assistance for him to drive, to him to transport. As far as services, I am not, ma'am.
So at this point, you haven't offered to assist with getting the kids back and forth to any of those?
I have and even on the October 2nd, when Mr. Dawsey stated that, hey, his driver's license was not revoked or suspended, I have offered that, and then he drove on the 31st, and which I stated in person, hey, if you need me, I'm here to offer that help. As far as like the services prescribed by court, no, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you, Miss Gustafson. Miss Mystic.
Mr. Scorio, I just have a couple of questions. You have been very, very concerned for a long time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. One thing I would add to my statement is we go back to the maternal grandmother. I would like to reinstate that maternal grandmother was living in the house prior to these kids being removed.
Right, yes, sir. But you have been letting me know your concerns. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And have wanted very much to be able to speak, and you feel like you've been able to let everyone know and the judge know what your concerns are.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you believe it to be in the best interest of the children to be removed and placed back in their original foster home?
Absolutely, ma'am.
And if the court orders a home study, let's see what comes from that, or any other family the parents may have. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge. And I did submit his pictures, and he sent pictures as well.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Ms. Mystic, you want CASA's pictures to be under your exhibit?
I think those were part of the ones that Natalie and Jana, we all agreed. I'm
Yes.
just making sure. He sent some this morning. So anything sent, I think you've already, other than the one I sent this morning, all of them have been admitted.
Okay. Anybody else have any
The
questions?
knife one? Sorry, Judge. Did you get that soul picture I did this
Got it.
morning?
I'm able to download it, but
Okay.
I'll look again.
Okay.
Anybody
Okay.
have any questions of CASA? No. Okay, sir, I just have two quick questions. Where general area was the foster home located where the kids were?
Is this prior to removal or after removal, Your Honor?
Where the home that y'all want to put the kids back in, that home?
That is in Georgetown, ma'am, the foster parents.
Okay. Now you said you made some suggested changes to Mr. Dawsey, stuff around the house, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, were those, now, I'm not a handy person, so were those easy changes, or would you have to be pretty technologically or handy to be able to make those changes?
Ma'am, those are pretty easy changes, ma'am. All they had to do was tighten the outlet back to the wall, and it's just a clamp. It was so easy, I could do it, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I could probably do those too. Okay. How did the children appear? Happy, go lucky, just being regular kids? How are they when you're at the house?
They're excited to see me. But like sometimes it's there's concerns regarding like their development, ma'am. Like they're not being able to be vocal is a serious concern.
Okay. Now put mom aside, but the 4 other adults that are living in the house, when you're there, are they ever there? Are they at work or what?
So when I would have to say, like, I have to use it in the totality of the circumstances. I have seen Miss Aaliyah. She's the brother of Haley's. She's the girlfriend of Haley's brother, Austin. I've seen them consistently in the house, and I've seen Haley more or less in most of my visits,
Okay.
and Corey once or twice.
So you talk about the dishes in the sink. I mean, do they delegate chores? There's adults there that sound like people can clean up after themselves. Have you discussed that with the people or with the parents and say, you're home all day, what's the deal?
So in one instance, Mr. Dawsey stated that the sink was overflowing, which sink was delayed, and I can point out the exact date. But on one date, he delayed access into the house, and then I did a comparison of the pictures that I took from the dishes. One was on October 2nd and October 13th, and he said he changed the piping, and between the comparison of both the pipings, it was not consistent. His story was not consistent. And then the tools that he put on the base of it, it seemed like he put a Leatherman, and any normal person or reasonable person would know that Leatherman doesn't fix plumbing issues, ma'am. There was no wrenches or anything like that. And for 7 adults, it is for 7 grown adults, the number of dishes is not a good statement to say the way I've observed it, ma'am.
You can always use paper plates and throw them away, right?
Yes, ma'am. But they've consistently been there.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Next witness, Mr. Sturmer. We can go until 11:15 if we need to.
Judge, I've got appointments that start at 11. I'll do whatever the court wants to do, but I don't have any other witnesses right now.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Bennett, any witnesses? Ms. Gustafson, any witnesses?
Yes. I have the maternal grandmother and my client as witnesses.
Okay, there's some grandmother.
She's probably the one that doesn't have her name on there.
Nobody there now. Go on and call your client.
That's fine. I can tell her to tell her.
There's nobody in the way.
back
There's
on.
a phone number, and I have 11:15, so that's probably the new number. So go on.
Okay. Jennifer, text your mom to get back on. Okay, you want me to call my client, Your Honor?
Yes. If that's who you want, whatever you want, yeah.
Okay, I just have my client and then the maternal grandmother.
Okay.
Oh, Jennifer says she's still in the waiting room.
We'll go on with your people.
Okay. Jennifer, can you take it off mute so I can ask you some questions, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your name is Jennifer Dawsey, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you've heard all the testimony so far today, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I have a few questions to ask you about some of those things.
Okay.
I'm just going to go back kind of through my notes, so it might be piecemeal, but I'm just trying to go quicker. Did CPS ask you about the parenting class?
So we had a visit prior, before I had actually started with McDonald's, that I was at home. She had brought it up and I had told her that we will do anything that they tell us that we need to do for the kids.
Hey, we're in court, babies. Y'all gotta be quiet.
And she had brought it up once. And then after that was never told, text, message, called, nothing about, hey, you got to join parenting classes. I got set up with this therapist that I have been seeing since after the one oopsie, I had corrected it with my work that I have Mondays off. That way I can talk to the CPS therapist once a week. And I have been doing it since after that one accidental miss. And I've been doing it ever since then.
So how many therapy sessions have you been to?
With the very first time, about 5. And then
Okay,
missed one, and then about 4 times after that.
so why would CPS be saying you've only been one time ever?
Apparently, from what he has told me as well, that he doesn't really get in contact with Elizabeth either, that she doesn't really contact him. He has to try to contact her because from what he was working off of, he was working off the old information back when we were living in Mound. He was working off of that paperwork. He didn't have none of the new paperwork, didn't have none of our new location, didn't have none of the new stuff. Yeah, the original report was what we working on. He barely even talks to Elizabeth. He
And
stated that last Monday, my last session with him.
tell me your therapist's name.
I don't really remember it because I'm bad with names.
Do you have it somewhere you can look up?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, it's a very ugly word and it teaches the kids bad habit.
What?
Mr.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dawsey, we
fine.
can hear everything you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I cannot find his name because even how I programmed it in my phone, because it was like a quick add him, was CPS therapist.
Okay. But you missed because of work, because you got a job, and now you've
Yeah.
worked it out to where you're off every Monday so
Yeah.
you can go to therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And since that time, as far as you know, you haven't missed?
No, because I have every Monday off, and that works for his schedule. So every Monday at 2, he calls me and we do our session.
Okay. Do you happen to know if Lane has gone to his therapist more than twice, or has he only gone twice?
I've heard he went twice.
Okay. So you got the kids set up to go to their for Freya to go twice a week to her ECI therapist.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you took her, did you take her last week? Or who took her last week?
Corey,
Corey did, I
Meadows.
think.
Meadows.
Oh yeah, Corey Meadows took her, and Lane went along with. Corey
Okay.
had drove, and Lane rode in passenger to take her up there
Okay. So Corey and Lane went.
because they had dropped me off at work, so I wasn't there for that appointment.
Okay. And as far as you know, is she set up to go 2 times a week? Is she supposed to go 2 times this week, or is it not till next week because of Thanksgiving?
We're waiting for them to call because they always call to schedule because they work around their schedule, what they have set up to be able to move it, to put us in for her to get seen. So they have to call to set up a schedule appointment.
So do you have the next appointment set up yet?
Not for this week, no.
Okay. And your phone is working, right?
Yes, ma'am. When our phones were turned off, we were using text now, which is still a form of communication. We were communicating with the Lily Lingo, which was the speech therapy, through text now to get everything worked out and fixed. But they had a whole bunch of things they had to get permission for and all of that. That's why it took so long for us to get the first session set up. And that we're just trying to wait until we get contacted to be able to set up an efficient schedule for her to be seen by the speech therapist.
Okay. And did you hear them testify it took like a month or two for the ECI testing?
Yes, because and I have proof, when our phones were shut off, I don't know why they didn't want to use the text now number, but they were contacting Haley on her phone number. And they every time they would postpone it. They were like, oh well, we can't get the therapist for that day. And so they finally got it on I can't even remember the day because it was kind of like a last minute schedule. They had come over to the house, did the evaluation, and then had made up a plan to set up the once a month deal for him.
Okay. And then did you decline to put the kids in daycare? Did you tell CPS no when they
No, I did not. It was never brought up to me. It's
Okay.
kind of like a one-sided phone call. They're telling him everything and I don't get told nothing from me. I have a phone number. They can call, text, message, anything, but nobody tries to reach out to me.
And were you ever asked to participate and have like a parenting coordinator come out to your house and kind of help you with the kids and help you manage them better?
What? I'm sorry.
Were you ever asked about a parenting coordinator coming to the house to help you manage the kids better and
No,
teach?
no, like I said, none of that was ever brought up to me. I was either at work, but most of the time I've already left before they've even showed up. Cause like last visit was at 11:45. Well, I had to be at work at 11.
And would you be willing to do either of those things, protective daycare or a
Yeah.
parenting coordinator or both?
Yes, ma'am. I would do anything for these kids. If they need it and they say they need it, I will do it. I
Um,
got the therapist's name as well.
oh, okay. What's your therapist's
I
name?
finally found it. It's Sam Calloway.
That's saying you have a therapy appointment at 11. Tell them you're in court. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Because today's Monday. Yeah. Okay. And then you've heard a lot of testimony about there's only one working shower. Does the other shower work in the other bathroom now?
It's always worked. It's just Haley is the owner of the house. Haley didn't want to put those ugly colored tiles that came to fix the shower to actually, make the wall look prettier. Haley didn't want to use tiles. She wanted to use tin to give it a country vibe. And all we needed to do was get tin snips to fit it in the wall better. The shower works. She was trying to modify it to where it was easier to clean. Tin is easier to clean than tiles.
Okay, so I just simple question. Do you have two working showers or one working shower?
We have 2 working showers.
So they both work now?
I was a licensed contractor. I can't elaborate
Okay,
on that.
you can't talk right now.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry. It's just Jennifer right now. Okay, and is
There has
this
always been 2 working showers. We just have been trying to DIY the wall essentially. But if we need to, and if somebody has to take a shower, we take all the, working materials, the building materials out of the shower, and somebody could take a shower there.
okay? So there's stuff in the shower.
Yeah,
Got it.
the building materials.
Okay. Can y'all buy a shower curtain that's not see-through that no one can see through?
We can't see through the curtains here.
Okay. It sounded like CASA said that it was a opaque or kind of see-through shower curtain.
No, it's a white shower curtain, and it's more like one of those heavy duty, it's like one heavy duty, blackout curtains that you would put on your walls for your windows. That's what that is covering that door. Is like a blackout, solid white curtain, not a shower curtain. It has the material of a shower curtain.
Okay, if they said, "Hey, get a colored shower curtain and put it up," would you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, CASA's shaking his head no, like he has an
Yep.
opinion. Did he already ask you to put up a different colored shower curtain and y'all didn't?
It's up to Haley's discretion because it's her stuff. She has a
Right.
stitch shower curtain that's on the actual shower, and then what covers the doorway, because there's no actual door frame. Because when they had bought the house, you had to be able to cut and saw and all of that to be able to make an actual door frame for a door. They just didn't have the tools or materials to be able to fix and build a doorway for a door. So they put a curtain that is really thick and not see-through over the door hole.
Okay. Are you willing, if they tell you to put up a dark colored shower curtain, are you willing to ask Haley if you can buy one and put it up?
Yes, I can ask Haley, and most likely Haley will say yes.
And is it kind of a little bit awkward situation being that you live in someone else's house?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Um, and is that house a 5-bedroom, 2-bath house?
So when they had originally bought it, because the people had converted, people before her had converted to a 5-bedroom. So when she had bought it, it was sold as a 5-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
That's what it says on her paperwork.
okay. So you heard the CPS worker testify that you were on the phone during some of the visits. How many times were you on the phone during some of their visits?
Okay, so
Do you want me to
one
ask her to turn her video
was
off, Your Honor? So maybe it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Hey, Jennifer, can you just turn your video off? Because your voice, it gets kind of bad where we can't understand you. Just turn
sorry.
it. Okay, no, that's fine. That way we can understand everything. Okay, so tell me about how many times were you on the phone during visits?
So it was technically once she was at the house, but the other one was essentially saying that Lane was caught driving with the kids, and she kept asking the question for him to say yes, but he never was. And then the other time I had called him, because I always call him on my breaks, is Elizabeth was at the house, but I didn't really hear much of what she was saying. All I heard was kids playing and then Lane talking to me. And I could definitely tell and hear that Elizabeth was at the house because I heard her voice a couple times.
Okay, but nobody had like a direct conversation with you in any way?
No,
Did anybody have any
no,
conversation?
ma'am.
Did anyone have any conversations with you about all these different issues that they're talking about today?
No, ma'am. The only person that has ever told me anything was Lane. That's how I knew about anything that was going on because nobody wants to let me know. CPS and CASA, they don't contact me to let me know what's going on.
Okay. What time is the kids' nap time?
It's normally from 10:30. That's our start time. And the end time is about 1:30, 2 is the latest. 1:30, and then 2 is if they end up sleeping past 1:30, we wake them up.
How often do the kids bathe? Do you have a routine?
We have a routine. We go play outside during the day. Haley sleeps during the day, so we're outside playing. That way they don't interrupt because she works at night. She's an overnight worker. So we let her sleep and we take the kids outside, we play, and then we come in for lunch. They stay quiet so they can eat their lunch, and we go back outside and play a little bit more, run off some energy, and then we'll all sit down, eat supper. And then after we're done with supper, we go get bathed one at a time. And then jammies put on, and then we'll tell everybody night night.
So the kids take a bath at night, not in the morning.
No, they go to bed at night.
Like-
Oh, yes, they take baths. Sorry, the kid was talking in my ear. They
Okay,
take baths
at
and
night.
showers at night before they go to bed.
Okay. And how
That way
early,
it washes all out.
how early do they tend to get up and go outside and start playing?
Around like 7:38. No, I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. I'm at work, depending. Sometimes we try to go out there around, I want to say like 9 o'clock. We'll play for about an hour, and then we'll take them in to get them calmed down, relaxing a little bit, and then we'll try to do the naps, start the naps. We'll get them in some cleaner clothes, not their outside play clothes, and we'll lay them down in bed, try to take a nap, and then after their nap, we go back outside after we eat lunch.
Okay. And tell me about the sheets and the bedding and all that.
So we have a mattress protector for Freya's bed, and she's been doing a lot better with going potty. She goes potty before she goes to bed, and then she doesn't wet the bed at night as long as she gets at least 2 potties in that night. She's been doing better about that. If she does have an accident, we take it immediately off the bed. We wash it real quick, and it doesn't take long to dry it, and we put it back on the bed for nap time. I do all the washing and stuff in the morning when they get up. If I notice that she has wet the bed, I wash it as soon as she gets out of her bed, and it's already back on the bed by the time it's nap time.
And how does that work if you're already at work and you're not at home?
I still work a little later. The only time I work early in the morning is at 6, and that's on the weekends. But I normally get everything done during the week, everything corrected. Like I work at 11 during the weekdays. So I go in there because I normally wake up at 6. I go in there, check her bed. If it's got pee on it, I wash it. And then it's back on there before I have to leave for work, which is about 10:30 because I normally work at 11.
Okay, so what happened on the days that CASA and CPS came out and there were no sheets on the bed?
They were either in the washer or the kids, for some reason, have a tendency to when they throw a fit, they take everything off and throw it. They take the sheets off and throw it. Same thing about the blankets being on the floor and pillows. In Thor's room, he tosses his stuff around because he's 2. We're trying to correct it and fix it. Like, hey, you got to leave your bed made. Once we make your bed, you got to leave it on your bed, not on the floor. And we're trying to teach him that so it doesn't continuously to happen.
Okay. And then what about the kids wearing the same clothes?
They don't normally wear the same clothes. because every time they use outside clothes, they end up dirtying them. They get changed as soon as they come inside. And we wash clothes literally almost every day. So it could have been a coincidence that they came and they were wearing the same clothes. They also have several pairs of clothes that are identical. Like they have copies of clothes in their drawers. And we recently got more clothes, so they have more to pick, but they dress their own self. They pick out their clothes for the day and they put their clothes on. We just double check, make sure it somewhat matches,
Okay.
because kids can be unmatching.
Right. And did you also buy more underwear for Freya?
Yes, she had. After all of that, we had bought 2 brand new packs of underwear, special training and underwear for Freya. So she has at least 20 pairs of underwear now. Probably more.
Okay. And are you still working with her on potty training?
She wears only panties throughout the day and night. And last night she didn't even wet her bed. And she was up this morning for an hour and she went in there and went of wet underwear. And her bed's not wet. Like I said, I check it every morning before I get up. We have finally gotten her to that point to where instead of telling people, she goes straight to the bathroom and goes potty. She doesn't have to tell anybody. I told her she don't have to tell nobody. She can go straight to the bathroom and go potty.
Okay. So she's making progress.
Yes. A lot of progress. She is doing so well.
Okay, and tell me about the vapes. Were they like where they could
The,
affect the kids, or were they empty or turned off, or what's
the
up with
one that was found was completely dead. Like you couldn't even blow into it, it wouldn't turn on. And it was also in the off switch. Like it was completely dead. She couldn't have done nothing with it. And it was put up in a drawer. And I think she ended up finding it, but we were supposed to throw it away. But I didn't have time to be able to go through, and I had to go to work that day to go make sure I picked up all of the stuff that was bad and needed to go in the trash.
Okay, so since the vape was found under her bed, are you making a better effort to throw stuff away
So
immediately?
yes, I throw stuff away and we keep all of like anything related to vapes or knives. We keep all of that inside the Suburban away from the kids. That way they can't just walk up and grab it. The only thing they can touch now is just like our Xbox controllers or headphones that go over your head or keys. Like that's all they can touch. But we don't let them touch it because we don't want them broke. But there's nothing harmful that we keep out anywhere in sight for them to grab. We keep it all in the Suburban because that's the best place to keep our stuff out of reach. Or we keep it in the RV. We've been putting stuff in the RV as well.
Okay. And then the knife that we were talking about earlier, I misspoke in thinking it was a pocket knife from the way I read the report, but it was the longer knife, but it's in a sheath and
Yeah.
it has at least one or more bands that go around it that hold it in the sheath that it can't come out unless you undo those, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have sent you a picture as well. The way the knife is kept in the sheath, it has a plastic casing, and then it has like an army type material around that plastic casing. Like there's a plastic shell that sits on the inside of that army type material. So it can't poke out the bottom either and stab one of the kids. It is completely safe.
But even so, since CASA or CPS or whoever pointed it out to Lane at a visit when it was on the floor, y'all have been keeping it in the vehicle away from the kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Unless he's wearing it.
Yes.
Okay.
Learning.
If he's wearing it, he has a knife, like a thigh secure where it wraps around his thigh, so they can't even try to rip it off of him. It won't come off because it's wrapped around his thigh.
Right. Um, and tell me about Freya's talking. Like, how does she talk? They said she doesn't talk in complete sentences or talk very much. Like, how is that going?
Okay, so she's really comfortable with you, like us. She talks in full sentences. Like yesterday, she said, "I really need to go to the bathroom, or I'm gonna pee on myself." She told that to her dad, and so he had to take her to the bathroom. I heard that over phone. If I can hear her clear over phone, it's got to be something about a person that she's not wanting to fully talk to them like that. She does it with us all the time. She talks in full sentences with us. That's how we understand what she's needing.
Okay, and then tell me about um the two letters that you got. So is the place that you take the kids for medical issues, is that the good old Witcher Healthcare?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so Dr. McCain was willing to write a letter stating he saw the kids October 15th
Mm-hmm.
and there were no signs of physical abuse and they seemed to be appropriate and had a healthy and positive bond with their parents.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because she had verbally said it at the appointment when we told her that we were doing a follow up because of the whole CPS thing about the bruises. And she had verbally said it. Well, I had asked her if she can write it, in black and white. That way I did have that
So,
instead of verbally.
okay. So CPS or CASA had made some indication to Lane during a visit about that they sometimes have scratches and bruises.
Hmm.
And so y'all took the kids to the doctor to have the kids evaluated and have medical professionals evaluate their scratches and bruises to see if
Yes,
there were
ma'am.
any concerns by medical professionals.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and they said that they didn't see any concerns.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's because they play outside every day and they're mobile kids.
Yes.
Okay. And then you also got, excuse me, a letter from the occupational therapist who saw um y'all on November 19th.
Yes, that was when our first once a month deal. She had messaged me about 3 days in advance for that appointment.
Okay. And so that was actually as to Thor, right?
Yes.
Okay. And she said that she didn't observe any signs of neglect or abuse, that y'all were attentive, and that you have committed to attending the evaluation and sessions to assist Thor.
Yeah.
Okay. So have either of those two professionals said anything about the kids being neglected or abused and anything that you needed to do?
No, ma'am.
Did they say that the kids were dirty and had dirt under their nails and that that was not appropriate?
No, ma'am.
Or did they say that they smelled like pee or had pull-ups?
No, ma'am. And every time we went to a doctor's appointment, Freya has always been wearing panties, and every time we're there, she always has to go a couple times to go potty, and she tells us, and we have to leave the room and take her to go potty while we're at the doctor's office.
And during potty training, is it common for kids to have accidents and wet their pants and clothes a lot and you have to change them often?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you asking today, do you feel it's in the kids' best interest if the kids stay with y'all?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that it would hurt the kids emotionally to be ripped away from y'all yet again and put with strangers?
Yes, ma'am. I very much so. It took us about 2 months now since we've had them back to correct the trauma that has been put on them about bringing them in a doctor's office. We have finally got them to where they'll let the doctors do what they need to do to them without freaking out and having a complete and utter floor meltdown. We finally got them to that point.
So when you take the kids to a professional or to somewhere to see other people, do they tend to be extremely clingy and they're scared they're going to be taken away from you?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you feel that it would emotionally harm the kids if they were removed yet again?
Yes, ma'am. Very much so. And I was traumatized as a kid as well. It is definitely not good to be putting on to both of them. Not like this.
And you've stated that you're open to daycare or a parenting teacher in your
Yes,
house,
ma'am.
whatever.
Yes, ma'am. I will do anything for my kids. Anything possible. It does not matter.
Now, if the judge does decide to remove the kids, are you asking that they go to your mom's instead of into foster care?
Yes, ma'am. Being with family is what matters. At least they'll know that they're safe, they're protected, and they know that they see a familiar face, so they won't be scared. And to be able to still do their continuous routines, they know their routine won't get messed up, and they know that they'll be able to have fun and continuously to have fun and learn new things.
Okay. And your mom lives in a different place now, right? Than she did
Yes, ma'am.
before? And is it
Yes,
a
ma'am.
much better place?
Yes, it's got a good backyard for the kids to be able to run around and play and be able to ride little cars and stuff and bikes. They got a good sized house, and all they have to do is fix up that room for the kiddos. If need be, we can send our beds with them, and they set that whole room up for just the kids.
Okay. And they did say that your mom was in the house, or was it your mom's house that y'all were in before, the house that was falling apart?
Yes, ma'am. It was our great aunt's house, and she was supposed to be doing the maintenance on the house, but her husband wanted to kind of like half it because originally their plan was to fix the hole in the roof, was put a trash bag over it. So we kind of went against what they had said and used the materials that was bought for the house to fix it properly. We had fixed it that way we could get the kids back. We had put drywall back up on the ceiling properly and secured it to where it was a flat ceiling and not droopy or holes.
But those issues in the home, those weren't caused by your mom either, right? Those were
No, ma'am.
landlord issues.
It was landlord issues and previous tenant issues. They had completely like destroyed the house, and the landlord was supposed to fix it when we had first moved in. They were supposed to fix it, and they never did. And they kept saying they would, but they never did.
Okay, and that's yet another reason why you guys chose to move.
Yes, ma'am. That was the original. That was the original plan to move at the beginning of September because we couldn't get the rent docked. If we were to do the work on the house, we couldn't get the rent dropped to be able to pay for the repairs and stuff. They wouldn't work with us on any of it. So we decided to move into a better situation. We had it all lined up, and then, CPS kind of came in and it set all of our plans on the back burner. We had a whole plan of moving into a better situation.
Right. Um, okay, and then what about your mom's health issues? What were her health issues?
It was stress because of the whole, the landlords saying they're not going to fix the house, and she was worried about the baby's safety and all of that. And we were, worried about trying to set up a proper plan for us to move everything out of the house, move all of us down to Elgin, and we were going to be in different houses. We were going to live in the RV, but we got told no because somebody had sat there and said that the RV didn't run properly, which the water worked and the electricity worked. We just couldn't pull it close enough to the house to show them that it worked because there was not space around the house for us to pull it closer to show them that everything worked in the RV. So we
Okay.
got denied to live in the RV.
Okay, so as to your mom's health issues, are they better now?
Yes, she's not stressed. She's living in a nice, pretty house. It's got a nice yard.
Okay, so there's no hazardous issues or holes in the roof
No,
or
ma'am.
any issues in the
It was literally all it was stress, and it was just it was eating at her. And as the month kept getting closer to moving time, it got worse. It was just stress. She is completely stress free now.
Okay. Or at least a lot less, right?
Yes,
Okay.
she's living on her own. She is definitely a lot stress free.
Okay. And have you spoken to her and recently and she said that she would take the kids if they
Yes, ma'am.
were moved from y'all?
Yes, ma'am. And she said she will definitely take the kids no matter what.
Okay. And she's here and she's willing to tell the judge that also.
Yes, ma'am. She is in the waiting room. She was just waiting to be called in.
Okay.
She didn't know how all of it worked, so she's
Right.
just been sitting in the waiting room.
Okay. Thank you. I pass the witness, Judge.
Anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Dory, do you have questions?
I just had one. You saw Sam Calloway how many times in October?
I saw him about in October about twice.
Would you
After
be
the one
surprised?
incident, after the one incident with work, I had seen him twice in October and then continuously through the end of October, I think, and then November. Because I've seen him 3 times in November.
Would
So
you be
I've seen him
surprised?
twice in October.
Would you be surprised you only had one therapy visit in October on the 27th?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. And then in
Oh, okay,
November,
that
you
must have,
go
I'd
ahead.
I'd have to go look at my messages because he was trying to
Sure.
call me while I was at work, and I had to let him know that I was at work.
Okay. And then you did see him on the 3rd and 10th and 17th of November.
Yes, ma'am.
And you thought you had an appointment with him at 11 today?
Yeah, she had pulled up my old messages to get his name. It was on October 8th that he had tried to call me, but I was at work, and that was shortly after. After that, I had fixed it with my work that I needed Mondays off. That way, I could talk to him once a week.
All right.
So
My
it was
question
after
was,
October 8th.
Jennifer, my question
Yes,
was, what time is your appointment today?
2 o'clock.
Okay, I thought y'all said earlier it was at 11.
Yes, they had accidentally, or Lane had
Okay.
accidentally thought that's what it said, but it was an older message.
Okay. And Miss Bennett was asking you about your mother. What is your mother's name?
It's actually Lane's mother, but she's a mom to
Okay.
me.
Okay, so every time Miss Bennett would say your mother, you responded with answering. It is not your mother, it's Lane's mother. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you. And last question, when ECI came out to the house, did they walk through the entire home or just interview and look at the kiddos?
They interviewed and looked at the kiddos and asked
Okay.
us to be able to set up see what he qualified for.
Okay. And they came out to your residence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was that a scheduled visit they were coming to?
It should have been.
Okay, I'm assuming, were you at work? And that would be a
No,
question
I was
maybe.
at home. Oh, that's right. They had pulled up a couple minutes after we had gotten the notification that they were coming. And so we waited for them to pull up.
Okay. And they're gonna come out, how often are they coming out to do services?
So they're not coming out. Miss Brooke, she said that she will contact me and schedule up either we'll go to the Mayborn Museum or the zoo or to the office in Waco to be able to do his ECI appointment because they're looking at his balance. That was the only
Okay.
thing he qualified for, was his balance,
I
his walking.
understand. Okay. What about the speech therapy? Did they come to the house or do you take her?
We take her and we're just waiting for this week. We're waiting for her to call us about when she's scheduled for this week.
Okay. And I just need to know, you're under oath. Is it your testimony that Lane Dawsey has not driven these children one time since they've been returned to you in a vehicle without a license?
He has driven once, which was the day that Scorio seen him at the hospital, but it's because they had to go to work and we had to drive up there real quick. That way we can be tested for strep throat.
What about in the parking lot of McDonald's? Or do you recall that with the car seats in the car and would he testify to hearing the kids?
We had the car seats in the car because we went down to Nana's house down the road.
Okay, but him hearing the kids crying, what kids were those?
I don't recall Lane being at McDonald's and wearing a baseball cap because he was wearing his cowboy hat that day.
Okay, so under oath, you're saying he has not taken you to work with those children in the car with no license. You do realize he's submitted pictures. Jennifer?
He has driven me once to work with the kids.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
Anybody else? Okay, Ms. Bennett, next witness.
I'd like to call, sorry, that was my mistake. I kept saying Jennifer's mom. It's the paternal grandmother.
There's two Samsung people in here. I don't know which one it is.
I mean, Judge, can we agree to a home study? If she needs to call her, I understand, but I don't doubt if Natalie has talked to her.
I have not talked to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would trust it.
Samsung, you need to show your face.
So probably one of them is the placement and one of them is the paternal grandma. I mean, not the placement, but the other people in the house.
Okay, who's the lady showing her face? Can't hear you, you're muted.
Jennifer, who is that?
Other Samsung, you need to show your face. Because I have another case at 11:15 that I'm not on yet, so I need to know who's on which case.
Got it.
I'm sorry, can y'all hear me now?
Yes, what case are you on, ma'am? What's your name?
I'm Lane Dawsey's mom.
Okay.
Okay, that's who we need, Judge.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Bennett, you may begin.
Yes, ma'am. Can you please state your name?
My name is Erica Lamb.
Okay. And you're familiar with the two kiddos in this case, right? They're your grandkids.
Yes, ma'am. I've been with them since birth.
Okay. And you have a really good relationship with them, or what kind of relationship do you have with the kids?
They lived with me since they were little bitty till September. So I've always been in their life. I have pretty good relationship with the babies.
Okay. And are you offering to that if for some reason the judge feels that the children need to be placed somewhere else, are you offering your home to be a potential placement for the children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you tell me, not your actual address, because we are on YouTube just for privacy, but I mean, kind of the area, like what town you live in and your house, like how many bedrooms, baths, and who all lives there with you?
We live in Elgin.
Okay.
The house itself is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Currently residing here. So it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and then I have another little, like, small, tiny home type thing. So inside the house is just my boyfriend and myself. His name is Brandon Fredrickson. He is in the case file. They've already done background checks on him.
Okay.
And then in the tiny home is my middle son, Cody Dawsey. He has also had background check and everything done by CPS.
Okay.
And then his significant other, Danielle Tadlock, she has also had background check and everything done by they lived in the house in Mound.
Okay.
And then their 4-year-old son. But in the main house, it's just me and Brandon.
Okay. And to your recollection, did they find that Brandon or Cody or Danielle had any criminal or CPS history?
No, ma'am. Brandon was in the military. He was career military.
Okay. And the children are familiar with Brandon too?
Oh, yes, that's their pop.
Okay. And is Brandon also okay with you taking in the 2 grandbabies?
He is, yes.
Okay.
Are y'all going to need to hear that from him?
No.
That was the judge.
Okay.
She says no. So
Wouldn't
we
say it.
believe you.
No.
Okay. And are you willing to, okay, so there was testimony about that, I guess a while back, you told this CPS worker that you had some physical health issues and that you didn't want the kids placed with you unless it was a last resort.
What I had told, as of right now, I don't have any documented medical issues that would prevent me from taking care of the kids. I don't have any physical limitations that would prevent me from taking care of the kids. I have like some nerve damage and whatnot, but it's manageable, and I don't take medicine for it over the counter, or maybe some ibuprofen now and then. I don't have anything that would cause me to not be able to take care of the kids.
Okay. And so today you feel like you have a safe household for the kids and you're willing to take them in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you willing to follow this court's orders, whatever they may be, even if they say that you can't let the kids have contact with your son and Jennifer?
Yes, ma'am. And I informed Jennifer and Lane that if the court ordered that, then they would just have to deal with whatever the judge says. They were already informed of that I would be willing to do whatever the judge said to make sure that the babies were cared for properly and taken care of.
Okay. And are you aware of Freya like starting ECI therapy through ECI?
Yes, I talk to my son every day. I know that Thor is doing some physical therapy. I know that Freya's doing some therapy, and things like that.
Okay. Would you or with the help of Brandon, like would you guys be able to get the kids to their therapy sessions and everything?
Yes, ma'am. I don't actually have a driver's license, but Brandon does.
Okay.
I don't own a vehicle, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. I passed the witness, Judge.
Anybody else have any questions of Ms. Lamb? No? Okay, thank you. Next
Oh,
witness.
I'm sorry, Judge, I just had two, okay.
Ms. Lamb.
Does Brandon work?
He does not. He is a disabled veteran.
Okay, all right. And he's willing, if the court moves them or does a home study, he's willing to take them to all their appointments?
Yes, ma'am.
You're willing for CPS and CASA and myself to show up, be let in the home?
Yeah. Oh,
if
yes,
it's
ma'am.
weekly?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
We do have 2 dogs, so the only thing would be that if y'all did come to the house, we would need to put them in the backyard.
Okay. Did Lane ask you if they could come visit with the kids for Thanksgiving?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell him you weren't comfortable providing your CPS with your address?
What I told him was if it was necessary, then I didn't mind, is what I had said.
Okay, thank you. Pass witness.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Next witness, Ms. Bennett, but we need to hurry.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Gustafson.
I'd like to call my client.
Okay. Go on, please.
Mr. Dawsey, your name is Lane Dawsey, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been present for the testimony today that you've heard, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I just have a couple of questions because we are in a time crunch. What I would like to ask you is if the department was willing to work with you on, say, a parenting coach, would you be willing to do that?
Yes, ma'am. I've actually stated multiple times that I would prefer not to if absolutely necessary, but I will if it will help me in my case and keep it.
And
Time crunch
Okay,
with schedules and whatnot. I am willing to do it.
turn the camera off because I'm having a hard time hearing you.
so, Mr. Dawsey, you understand now that they're wanting to remove your children. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you understand that that was what the department was wanting to do before the hearing on Wednesday?
No, ma'am.
And at any time did Ms. Rodriguez put it in terms where you understood that you were not doing enough and that the children could be removed?
Yes and no. So she did explain some things that could potentially get the kids removed, but other things, no.
And would you be willing for the children to go to daycare?
Yes, ma'am.
And at this point in time, do you think it would be in your kids' best interest to be removed from your home?
No, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Anybody else have any questions, Mr. Dawsey?
I do. I know we gotta hurry,
Let
but,
me let Ms. Bennett go, then you can go.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh, mine's really quick. Mr. Dawsey, I forgot to ask Jennifer when she was on the stand, but is she making efforts to get her driver's license valid?
Yes, ma'am. I am as well.
Okay. So what do you estimate the time frame would be before one of you has a valid driver's license?
So Miss Jennifer is gonna be a little bit easier. My license is not valid due to warrants for traffic tickets that I have.
Okay.
On all of them except for 2, I believe, I can start making payments on. Unfortunately, I do not have the money to start making payments on them. I've been trying to sell this travel trailer and have not been able to, but I am working on it.
Okay. So what is the time estimate that maybe Jennifer could get hers valid?
Couple weeks.
Yes, ma'am, a few weeks.
Okay. All right. I pass the witness. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes. Who's your therapist?
I do not know my therapist's name off the top of my head, and unfortunately, we're on my phone, so I can't look.
Sure. How many sessions have you had?
2. Well, okay, so one full session. The first one I ever did was kind of a intake thing. I was
Sure.
supposed to go last week or the week before that, and with everything happening and whatnot, I completely spaced and forgot about it. I do
Sure.
have an appointment set up for December 1st, though.
Okay, thank you. Does Haley cook breakfast and dinner? Haley's, whose home you live in, does she cook breakfast and dinner every day?
Not every day, but most days, yes.
All right. Has Frey ever asked you to take her to the bathroom and you and your wife tell her go back to sleep?
No, ma'am.
Have you all thrown laundry in with kids' clothes with feces and messed up the washing machine at the home?
Yes, ma'am. It happened once, not under my accord. I like to wash out her clothes that have fecal matter in it. I take them outside. I rinse them out with a water hose and whatnot, and then I will
Okay.
throw them in the washing machine.
Thank you. Does Haley do the Freya's bed because you all won't change or wash the sheets?
No, ma'am.
Have you washed Thor's bedding since you all have moved in?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you
I
just serve
haven't personally, but Jennifer has.
do the kids go to bed and stay in the bed most of the day?
No, ma'am. So
So, oh, go
they're
ahead.
they're I'm sorry, I blanked. Their nap schedule. So what we normally do if it's a bright and sunshiny day is right around 7:30, 8 o'clock, depends on how cold it is in the morning. We go outside. We eat breakfast and we go outside. We come in right around 9, 9:30, and then they mostly will lay up here with me. We'll watch a movie for about an hour. And then right around 11, I will, and this is all just depending on what we're doing that day. Right around 11, I will put them in their bed, and it depends on when they fall asleep, is when I wake them up. I never let them sleep for more than an hour, hour and a half at tops.
All right, let me stop you because I think the nap schedule has been testified to. If Haley, who's in the waiting room, testified to those things I just read off to you about she does the cooking, she does the washing, that the washer got messed up because feces was put in the washer, that y'all don't change or wash the sheets, that you tell the kids to go back to bed, or you tell Freya to go back to bed and not take her to the potty. If she testified to that, you are saying that is not the case, other than you did say one time feces was washed, but of course that was not your doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness.
Anybody else?
I had one other question,
Mr.
Your
Dawson.
Honor. Mr. Dawsey, on any of these occasions, did Ms. Rodriguez ever mention or bring up the possibility of a safety plan?
At the very beginning, yes. Throughout, no, ma'am.
So at the last time she was at your home, she did not discuss a safety plan in order to keep these children in your home.
No, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
Anybody else? Mr. Dawsey, how do y'all know the people whose house y'all live at?
They are really good. I met them whenever we lived in Clifton the first time. I was doing some mechanic work for her ex. Me and her ex never really did get along, but me and her got along pretty well, and we kept in contact, and I have just always called her Aunt Haley to my kids. So
Okay. Help me here. I'm really confused about this RV. Is the RV in Mound, or is the RV where Haley's house is?
the RV is here at Haley's house.
Has it always been there?
No, ma'am, it was in Mound. We did get it transported out here whenever we moved.
And when did y'all move to Haley's?
A few months ago. I don't remember the exact time.
Okay. And who rented the house in Mound?
My mom's the one who rented the house in Mound.
How long had y'all lived there?
Close to a year, I believe. If or yeah, no, actually 2 years, I believe. It was close to 2 years. And the entirety of the time we were fighting with our landlords to get some of the things fixed around the house.
Was that roof caved in for 2 years?
Yes, ma'am. My great aunt actually told me that she was going to take legal actions against me if I had fixed it.
And your great aunt was the landlord, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did everybody move out of that house?
It was just unsafe conditions. We had been planning to move out of that house. It was unsafe conditions. It flooded real bad almost every year. The fleas and the field mice and the water roaches would all just come out of the fields. The neighbors weren't the greatest. The neighbors across the street had been arrested multiple times for drug possession, firearms, motor vehicle theft, and stuff like that. I personally felt it was unsafe conditions for the kids. Unfortunately, at the time, I didn't have a suitable income to provide the funds in order for a down payment for another house. I was working on that at the time.
Okay. How long has your wife worked at McDonald's?
This specific one or just all together?
This one.
She started working here. Oh, when did they open? September 23rd, I believe, or the 26th, one of the two.
Where'd she work before that?
The McDonald's there in Gatesville.
Okay. Was there a gap in time?
There was a few weeks gap in time. The store here in Clifton was supposed to open by the time we had moved in.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they had some delays with, I believe it was some equipment, and it caused a delay for her to start working.
Where was the last place you worked and when?
The last place I worked was Wild Country. It was about 2 years ago. I was a bouncer. And that was just a side job. I worked at Walmart for a year, maybe two, I think.
Okay.
While I was living the first time here in Clifton.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Anybody else have any questions, Mr. Dawsey?
One question, I'm so sorry, Judge. Did I hear you say you all moved from that residence and it went before the children were removed?
No, ma'am. It was after the
Okay.
children were removed and given back to us, we moved.
Right. I heard you say when the judge asked about living there and you said, oh, we needed to get out because of all the issues there. But the kids were removed, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you had not moved or gotten out of that place, right? Till later. Did we lose him?
No.
Kind of halted those plans.
Okay. And it is true when they were removed, they were taken to the hospital and were dehydrated. Tell me what that has to do with the living conditions.
The doctors were saying they were dehydrated. They were drinking water pretty much all day, every day. It's the same thing they're doing here. I've never neglected my children of food, of water, of playtime, of baths, of clothes. I've never neglected my children of any of those things.
Thank you. Pass witness.
Anybody else? Okay, next witness, Ms. Gustafson.
I rest.
Okay, I'm happy to hear from everybody.
Judge, I mean, I know we've got to go. I mean, I've got Miss Haley that's willing to testify that lives in the home, but I don't know on time.
I have another hearing at 11:15 and y'all told
Okay,
me
all right, that's fine.
I know everybody's got some weird week, so I kind of hate to put people
No.
between a rock and a hard spot also.
I don't want to come back. I think it needs to be addressed today, whatever the court decides. So,
Okay, Mr. Sherman, you may begin.
What was that?
Closing.
Judge, we're asking that you disrupt this monitor return today. I think that the parents got these children back very prematurely. They haven't done the things necessary to show the department, everybody involved, that they're capable of having these children with them. I think the children have regressed since they've been with the parents, and I think that if they stay in that home or just under or in the possession of the parents, that they're going to continue to be abused and neglected, and it's going to be something serious if we don't get them out of that home.
Thank you. Ms. Bennett.
Yes, Your Honor. While I understand the various concerns, I do not think that these concerns rise to the level that create an environment that the children should be removed from. I also don't think that the evidence shows in any way that they have made reasonable efforts to keep the children in this home. They never mentioned doing a parenting coach, which has been successful in several cases that I have. They did not do protective daycare. They did not do a safety plan. They did not make it clear that if these things were not immediately done, that they were going to try to remove the children from the home. I mean, dirty dishes and dirt under nails, my kids would have been removed for things like that. I don't know. And we have professionals, we have a doctor and a occupational therapist who saw these children and testify about the relationship between the kids and the parents and how positive it is, and that they didn't observe any issues or problems or neglect. Even the doctor that was specifically asked by the parents to check for, physical issues and abuse and neglect because of the things that I guess CPS and CASA were hinting about, because the kids had some bruises and scratches from playing outside all the time. I just don't see how we get there, that the kids should be disrupted, not to mention the emotional impact that it's going to have on these children to be ripped away from their parents a second time after they've just started calming down from the first time. If for some reason the court does feel that the children should be removed, we would ask for placement with the paternal grandmother and not with a foster home.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Gustafson.
Well, I would reiterate everything that Ms. Bennett has just said, and I find it very frustrating because these kids were removed or were returned very soon, and at the time that they were returned, the department and CASA were asked to go out and view the place that they were returned to, and I believe the testimony is that the place has not really gotten that much worse. It's pretty much the same, and we have another child living in this place that no one's called and turned in a report for that child. And not that I'm saying that should happen, but we're going to take these two children out of this home. And yes, there's other adults that are responsible for that child, but when we place a child back in a home, we look at everyone living in that home as adults that are supportive to those children. We certainly don't place a child back in a home if we have a problem with any of the adults living there. So, and it concerns me that we did not sit down and have a conversation where these parents were completely aware of how dire their situation was about having those kids removed, that they were on the cusp of those kids coming out of that home. Because in that regard, if we had had that conversation, that's where we should have been discussing safety plans. We should have been discussing, hey, those kids, maybe it would be better for them to go into daycare for all day, so we had more sets of eyes other than the people that just lived in the home on those children. What are some other things we could do to help these parents be successful? And that just simply didn't happen. So now we're just going to run in and take these children away and we're right here at the holidays, and these kids have already gone through this traumatic event just a couple of months ago, and we're going to do it again. And that, to me, we are completely looking past what it does to those children's emotions and their mental health by ripping them away again. And it takes so long for them to feel safe again. So I think a less severe solution would be to find out if we can maybe implement some of these things. We've made an impact on the parents. I think they're willing to do whatever they can do to hopefully get on the right track. And certainly if we feel that we need to take them out of that home, then consider maybe placement with the grandmother, because at least she's a familiar face, and it's not like they're going back with, and the foster parents certainly aren't strangers, but they're not their family, and they're not mom and dad. And so I just think at this point, disrupting the monitored return, I don't think we're quite there yet.
Thank you, Ms. Gustafson. CASA? What's y'all's opinion?
Ma'am, I recommend the removal and back to the foster parents, ma'am. The grandmother was previously in the residence along with the names that she suggested were the names that was prior to the incident for the removal, and then they moved along. But again, they have not been receptive. I can testify that Miss Elizabeth has been providing these services, and they have not honored those services or like upheld them. And I recommend removal, ma'am, back to the foster parents.
Thank you. Miss Mystic?
Judge, I think the conversation that they were talking about should have had with these parents was the removal at the end of July. To me, these parents are smart. This isn't a case of we don't really understand. It has been absolute by lane not wanting to do what's been provided. They were removed in July. They got them back August 16th, and we've had one full therapy session and a half a session, or he said he spaced out. I don't know if that meant he just didn't sign in. Mom had one session the end of October, November. She's been attending. We've got children that were dehydrated in the home where grandma lived with them for 2 years. They were removed from the home, and we let them come back. Yes, they looked at the house. This is not just about a dirty house. When you look at those pictures and you see it's not just dirty fingernails, look at their feet, the top. They are filthy. And I was late to the party as far as removing. I've had conversations with Sasha and been like, not having a driver's license. We have lots of CPS clients that don't have a license and drive, and certain things that maybe we as been doing this a long time think, we can get through this. But I have parents that are not, they've been offered, let's put him in daycare. No, I want to stay home with him. He's not working and providing. He's staying home with the kids. I believe, and I ask those questions, and I hear, no, he didn't drive, except one time to the hospital. And then it's, oh yeah, he drove me to work. I think there's been untruths. I am very concerned. I went to that house. They were lovely. They let me in. They've always responded and talked with me, okay? But these kids are not in a good environment, and I don't see it changing. I would think removal would have changed. My phone didn't work for a week. I would have been blowing up. CPS and CASA has been coming out almost weekly. Please help us to get a home. Every question has been, what is the department doing for them, instead of, why are you not blowing up the phone or getting a ride and say, I can't get this done. And we're at the end of November, and we've got a child. I'm glad they're going to do the occupational and go to things. Do I think it's going to continue? I don't know. I want family to have these kids. I do. And if grandma will, again, if it's necessary for CPS to have our address for the family to come to Thanksgiving, that's a red flag to me. Because I can tell you right now, as a grandparent, if I had my grandkids, you could come spend the night in my house. And you get the comment on testimony today, yeah, I did tell Lane if it's necessary for CPS. Okay, I don't care. I may not like CPS showing up at my house all the time, but if it meant me having my grandkids versus a foster family, and if you compare the pictures, because on vacation, I would expect the kids not to look so great. They are clean. The smiles on their face. I'm not saying they don't love their parents. Of course they do. All children, truly, I believe, want to be with their family. But I would ask for a home study of grandma's house. I'm just concerned about they lived in that condition for 2 years. And I get being poor or not having money. I do. But there's got to be another way with a roof caving in and living with a grandparent that's now in a home that they're saying is great. Why was it like that for 2 years? Why were they dehydrated? Why? That's my concern. I still want to work with these parents, and maybe if they're removed, they will get the message today, man, we got to be proactive, because I don't think this is over. So I think in the best interest of the children, it needs to be disrupted, Judge.
I have just a couple of questions. When the monitor return began, I can't remember, were the children returned to the Mound house or to Haley's house?
No, Haley's, the court had said, go check it out, and I think they did. Okay, maybe not. He's shaking his head no. So I guess it was the Mound house they were returned.
Do I have permission to speak?
I think,
I don't know if your lawyer will let you or not.
I think he wants to clarify what address that they were returned to, Your Honor.
oh, okay.
Okay.
So since that hearing where the kids were returned, like I said, I went behind my great aunt's back and fixed the house, and that is the only reason why it was approved for the kids to return to the Mound house.
Oh.
But in that instance, we had already made plans. I believe I might be wrong about this, but I believe I even talked to my lawyer about it. I know for a fact I talked to CPS and CASA about it. Before we even had the kids back, we had already been planning to move.
Okay. To Haley's?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, sorry, Judge.
Got it. No, that's okay. CPS, have y'all contacted Mr. Calloway recently to see how many times mom's been to therapy?
I can answer, Judge, if that'll be helpful.
Yes.
We got an email this morning. She had one visit October 27th, and she has had 3 visits in November and has one today at 2. She saw him the 3rd, 10th, and 17th.
Okay.
And he does monthly updates. He sent his update at the end of October. I'm hoping this is a typo. I hope she didn't tell him this, but he did say that she said the kids were living with her parents and they were in Haley's house. Again, that could be.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Okay.
What has any as department or CASA said to the parents about a possible disrupted monitor return pursuant to what Ms. Gustafson mentioned in her closing? Has that been discussed by CASA, CPS, or Ms. Mystic with the parents? Hello?
Ma'am, as far as CASA is concerned, I've overheard Miss Elizabeth state about the services that were offered them.
Okay.
I
Okay.
believe Ms. Rodriguez in her testimony said she never came right out and stated we're going to remove the kids.
Okay.
But they got the reports, I will say, because I know they were very concerned about that. Like with the reports before the
Well, this
hearing.
last report was filed the day before court.
I understand.
So, I mean, that's not a lot of heads up.
And we changed the hearing till today. So, okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay, y'all, I have 11:15 hearing that I'm not in, and everybody else has other things to do. Now that I've seen I heard the testimony, I'm gonna look at the evidence again, because it'll make more sense now that I do that. And I will send y'all my ruling later today. Thank you. Y'all are excused. Parents, y'all have service plans and court orders you need to comply with those court ordered and service plans to get CPS out of your life and get the kiddos, you know, home so we can move on. I mean, they are home, but you know, just need to get us all out of your life. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll email the lawyers later. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You need to tell whoever, where's Miss Mystic? Y'all need to tell Corey and Haley that they're not needed.